All right, let's commence the madness. I made these graphics very quickly because we weren't supposed to be doing a show today, so bear with me when the inevitable screw up comes up and Jeremy decides to shit talk me. Look, Jeremy, you're barely even on the screen now. Oh my god.
Hey, look, maybe you'll be able to see me
stand
when
up
you
like
throw
he's
up
cutting
a
turkey.
comment.
Yeah, just wait till the comments completely cover Jeremy and then he's non-existent.
I'll just animate Chevy Chase's mouth and it'll look much better anyway.
Just a sec.
Let me roll over in here.
Oh, too funny.
Let's see if I can fix this here.
Oh yeah, I should probably bring up my.
Oh no, he switched his screen right when I did that. I thought he was going to be completely gone with Beverly D'Angelo down there. All right, let's get into it. We have the Packers at the Lions. Fourth best matchup for Jordan Love. 24th best matchup for Jared Goff, and I don't care. I haven't even begun. We're so early in the week that I haven't even looked at my expert rankings yet because they don't exist. When I go to my Fantasy Pros expert rankings, it says start with your week 11.
Nobody submitted. Malfunction once again.
No, we're not malfunctioning. I muted it because my kid's homesick, and apparently his friend is also homesick, and they've used their sick day to lose their mind on Fortnite in the other room. You couldn't hear the screaming?
No, we were.
I was wondering, it sounded like a pterodactyl.
Stop! I'm down. So, anyways, let's attempt this again. Fourth best matchup for Love, 24th best matchup for Goff. I don't have rankings currently done because it's Tuesday. I am still starting Goff as a top 10, I believe, this week. And Jesus Christ. Love is a QB2 for me. What do you guys think of these two?
Yeah, good matchup for Goff. I like it. We roll with Goff. He had a bad game last week. Goff's like QB 14 for me, I think.
I can mute his mic. How do I black out his background?
If only Goff had Calvin Ridley, it would really be special.
Yeah, exactly.
I just still don't trust Love. Like, he's been better. It's a good matchup and all that, but I just don't think he's good. So I have a hard time trusting him. I get it. Fourth best matchup, all that fun stuff. Like, yeah, I'm still starting Goff over Jordan Love. Like, I'm not going that far. That's a bridge too far as I scale. So that's where I'm at with those two.
I agree with that. The only thing is, the Packers secondary has been pretty decent. They're still giving it up, but Goff hasn't been great. I think that probably correlates with the Gibbs-Monty duo just going off, right? We've seen, St. Brown's going to get his, but we've seen Laporta's numbers go down, and Goff's as well. So it's probably a lot closer than I want to be, but I will go Goff over Love.
All right, running backs. 27th best matchup for the Packers, 11th for the Lions. The Packers, I don't really want to start anyone. Aaron Jones coming off an injury on a short week. A.J. Dillon, I guess if I'm pressed into it as an emergency flex if Jones is out. Gibbs and Montgomery are even scary. I'm starting both of them. I think I'm going to be, when I do get to my rankings, probably not till tomorrow, I think. I think I'm going to have them both in the RB2 range. I think I'm going to have Montgomery higher just because of the touchdown equity, but I think they're both going to be somewhere around 15 for me. What do you guys think?
Yeah, the one thing I would say about this is that, Gibbs is seeing some goal line work, right? And that wasn't the case earlier in the year. They're trusting him everywhere. I think it's one of those things where they love Montgomery. Wait, hang on. Let me get the real star of the show in here. It's one of those things where they love Montgomery so much, kind of like a Jamal Williams situation, but you just can't deny Gibbs. So they're both going to get the work in around the goal line. But, on the other end, I'm starting both of them well over A.J. Dillon for sure.
Oh, yeah. If you're – I don't know why you would be starting Dillon over them. Agreed. This guy does suck. But, yeah, Gibbs is really good. It's the pass catching volume. Like, that's what we're chasing in PPR leagues. Like, I'm going to have him ranked above Monty. And he's seeing more snaps. Even Monty came back. He was at 40% snaps. Gibbs was at, 56. So, it's Gibbs' world. We're living in it. He's RB1 rest of the season. Like, you fire up Gibbs, no questions asked. You're right, Monty will probably be, RB15.
But does this not – I agree. Gibbs is better, but doesn't this seem like these Thanksgiving games, doesn't this just seem like a 3-touchdown home Lions game on Thanksgiving type day? Yep. And I get it. All the data and everything I know says Gibbs should be better. But Montgomery just seems to be the touchdown vulture every fucking. It's like owning DeAndre Swift and just knowing Jalen Hurts is inevitably going to vulture goal line touchdowns. It's just, it's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, even with those touchdowns that Monty got, like Gibbs still outscored him last week. So like that's kind of where I'm at with the two of them. Like it's just so much easier for him to like get more fantasy points. Monty needs touchdowns. Gibbs necessarily doesn't.
It's Kamara Ingram, right? This is the real guy. We got the real one here. Yeah, I know, love it. It's Kamara Ingram, right? Like it's the same sort of situation. They're both currently RB1s, I believe, still because they both had big games last week. So you can't deny either of them. And look, they should both score a touchdown in this one, right? So fire them up. It's much better after last week, that's for sure. Although I only started him in like 25% of leagues.
Nobody started him. It's like Mike Evans in the playoffs last year. Great. You know what's going to happen, right? He's going to go from. I think I looked at his start percentage last week. It was insanely low. I don't have it on me. It was like 18%. Now it's going to be 73% when he goes back to putting up a dud, because this is what happens in fantasy football.
Boom bust.
Yeah, wide receivers, 11th best matchup to play Green Bay receiver roulette. And on the Lions side, we have the 24th best matchup, but I don't care because there's only one receiver I'm starting. I'm starting St. Brown easily as probably a top 6 here. Jameson Williams, I don't mind starting as a desperation flex. I'm putting him as Gabe Davis light here. Every couple of games, he seems to break loose for a broken coverage long touchdown, but I don't really want to start him. Dobbs, Watson, Reed, I will start any of them as a wide receiver 3 and just pray I get the one who turns into a wide receiver 2. I'd much prefer Dobbs. I would say Dobbs, Reed, and then I have Watson and Wicks kind of similar, although Wicks is basically poor man's Jameson Williams, who is poor man's Gabe Davis. So take that for what it's worth. Really, I'm easily firing up St. Brown, and I'm probably starting Dobbs as a wide receiver 2. And then the rest of them, I think, are just pray they get the touchdown. But it's Thanksgiving. Crazy shit has been known to happen. Okay, I have an interesting thing before we get into that, and I heard it on. I'm close to Detroit, so I get Detroit sports radio here. And what their take was, and I never thought of it this way. It applies more so to Thanksgiving because they're earlier game times, but Thursday games in general, their take is take the boring players, the guys who are schemed up for the crazy shit like the Debo and that. On this was actually they have TJ Lang, the old Packer and Lion. He does one of their daytime shows, and he was saying from an inside point of view on Thursdays on the short rest, their schemes on offense and defense are incredibly boring and incredibly bland and vanilla, and it's just really simple because on the short rest or the short practice week, you don't have time for these elaborate, crazy looks. And from a fantasy, like I tried to look at the implications of that for fantasy, and it kind of holds true because you see the guys who are good are the guys like Montgomery who just get the boring, bland goal line work. Whereas, the guys with the exotic looks and the crazy touches, they tend to have bad games on these short weeks because it's a really bland, vanilla game. So I don't know if you guys ever considered that. I never thought of it that way. Like, go to the boring players on Thursday because these game plans are really boring on the short weeks.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. They're gonna play what they're comfortable with and what they know as an offense, right? They're not going to integrate those, like you're talking about, elaborate play calls or mix it up too much. So you bet on the good guys that we trust. And unfortunately, the Packers do not have very many of them. Like this.
Yeah, it doesn't really hold true in this matchup because there is no just boring vanilla option against like the Debo crazy scheme option.
Yeah, it's like I'll have Dubs probably is the highest with Watson and Reed, but like it's gonna be those three like grouped together in my rankings again. It's so hard to pick which guy's going off in that week. Maybe you look into like zone versus man coverage and dictate a little bit, but it's really just throwing a dart at one of those guys because one of those guys is gonna pop. It's just good luck telling which one it is.
Yeah, and in this case, I really want to play Reed, but you got Branch on the other end, right? Like, so you just really don't know who's going to pop off. It's probably a Watson week. but you can't bet on that. So just start St. Brown and, maybe JMO over these guys and just pray for the touchdown. I don't know. They're all dart throws at this point, other than St. Brown.
It's St. Brown, Dobbs for me, and then I think I want Reed, and then Watson, Williams, and Wicks. That's a lot of W's. The WWW, they're all just kind of dart throws together. But we have one that will impact us in the last game we do. Jets signed Trevor Siemian to the active roster. So do you think that's just strictly as a backup? They can't plan on starting him, right?
Well, yeah, because Zach Wilson was promoted to QB3, right? So they were like, Zach, you are not playing in this game no matter what. Yeah, if he plays
I
like
think they're going to give.
Really.
Yeah, I think they're going to give Boyle the week, and then see what he can do. But it's very likely that Siemian in the next game or two becomes the starter.
Nothing like making a QB change on a short practice week. Brilliant time to do it there.
But Simeon's like a veteran. He knows a lot of simple stuff. So you can throw him in as a backup and he can give you a little bit of spark. But yeah, I doubt they're going to start him. That seems pretty crazy to me for them to do that.
Tight end matchup: 13th best for Musgrave, 19th best for Laporta. I don't care. Excuse me. Laporta is a top 5 or 6 for me. I'm assuming Musgrave is probably a high-end tight end too. I don't mind starting him if I have to. The kickers, Patterson's a decent option, even though it's a middle-of-the-pack matchup. Carlson hasn't been great, and it hasn't been a great matchup. I'm benching him. I don't really want to start either DST here. Better matchup for the Lions, having said that their pass defense is terrible. So I'm starting Laporta. I can start Musgrave if I have to. Start Patterson and avoid both defenses. What do you guys think?
Yeah, makes sense. If I'm playing defense, I'm taking the Lions at home. I'm just going to trust their defense. At home, in a short week, it's just easier matchup with both teams. The Lions seem to play pretty well on these Thanksgiving games, so I would have bet on that a little bit.